I'm confused. Alex Morono got an incredible win. He had a very incredible win over David Zawada, excuse me. I just found out that's how you pronounce the German names. The W's or V's. So Zawada, David Zawada, Saget. Listen, man, I thought he was crisper. I thought he was faster. I thought he was throwing a little more volume, but he lost 30-27. And that's what confused me a little bit, AJ, is because I had it a little bit closer. I had it 29-28 from Morono. I think the third round when Zawada tried to grapple was his downfall. And I was like, they're both good at BJJ, but Morono's a better wrestler and he's a bigger guy. So that's what the downfall was to me. But how did you see this fight playing out, man? Because when I saw 30-27 from Morono, I was just a little confused.
I was also very confused with that too, man, because I had a 29-28 Morono as well. I thought Zawada did some real good work in the first and the second round. I had him winning the second personally, but I thought Morono, man, it was crazy the amount of not necessarily the volume, but the pressure he was putting on him, and then the heat he was throwing with that right hand, man. He was absolutely cracking Zawada, and so I was also very confused when I saw the decision laid out 30-27. You can never trust the judges. I don't know the judges that were in this fight, but it's hard to say because I think I'm not sure on the actual verdict, how verdict had it scored, but I'm sure they also had it 29-28. So what do you think?
It was like, so you know how they do decimal system and verdict. It was like 29 point something to 27 point something, right? So it's like, you do your rounding and stuff. It's closer to 29-28 than 30-27 clearly. But at the end of the day, man, I think the story here was damage versus volume, right? I thought Zawada was touching him up here every time, touching the body, jab, jab, you know what I mean? Morono winging crazy hooks, man. And he landed a beautiful, nasty spinning back fist on him too in the third round. It was gross, but it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? I love to see it. My question to you about this fight, AJ, is do you think Alex Morono can advance up the rankings with fighting the way that he fights with the big winging hooks and whatnot? It just seems to me, I'm like, dude, you're so skilled, but you're trying to just throw everything into every shot instead of just being straight, man. Like, what am I missing there? Why do you think that's not part of his game plan?
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't think he can get that far in the future in the UFC if he just continues to fight like a Clay Guida or Diego Sanchez, where they're just winging shots left and right. He might be able to be in that same kind of spot where they're hanging out in the mid-20s, mid-10s, of the entire division. But I definitely don't see him going far, like super far to the gold with doing that. It does make it a more fun fight and does make it kind of like it plays to the brawlers in all of us. Yeah. It does play to like the guys who want to see and they come in there and just a scrap, get thrown down. But in this game, you need to really be a technician. It's hard to not get those, or it's hard to get those dubs when you're just throwing shots out very far out and wide when people are just cracking you straight down the pipe. So yeah, it's weird that he doesn't implement that because he is so talented. And I mean, if we're saying it this year in this amateur, man, that they're out there doing that in Fortis MMA. He has great coaches, so it's weird to see it not being put into practice.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting too, man, is because he had a very interesting mental approach to the fight after. If you heard him say, he said, I approach this like medals, right? So a knockout is gold, submission is silver, decision is bronze, and I'm coming for gold every single time. So he was all like, yo, like, why didn't, I think Bisping or someone asked him, like, why aren't you using your grappling? Because he's second degree BJJ black belt, and he was all like, well, it's hard to knock somebody out on the feet when you're grappling on the ground. And I'm like, well, good point, you know what I'm saying? I guess that is true, right? But at the end of the day, this was a very big win for Alex Morono. He moves to 9-4 and one no contest in the UFC. So regardless of what we're saying, the man is finding a lot of success in the big show, man. I mean, 9-4, that's very, very impressive. This is a Fortis MMA product fighting under Saif Saud, and Fortis MMA has just been killing it in 2021, man. A lot of their fighters have been picking up big wins, and they're clearly in a plus differential in terms of wins and losses on the year, man. So I will just say the last thing that I have on Alex Morono is that I would like to see a little more grappling in the future. I get the approach, man, but that's where he smothers his opponents, man. It's like they can't do nothing when he really does that BJJ on them, the wrestling and the BJJ mixed up. So we can move on to the next one, AJ.